So the second method is factoring, and you only use trinomial factoring when a is equal to 1. There are many types of factoring, but today we're talking about trinomial factoring. And when we are talking about trinomial factoring, we're essentially turning this ax squared plus bx plus c into this form where x plus r times x plus s. So you might be asking, well, what is r and what is s? Well, r and s are two numbers that multiply to give you c and add to give you b. So again, you're looking for two numbers that will multiply to give you this term and then add to give you this term. And then so you can factor this, and the factor form would be x plus r times x plus s. So this might be a little too abstract and a little confusing, so I'm going to walk through a practice question with you. And our practice question is x squared plus 5x plus 6 equals 0. So let me write that for you. X squared plus 5x plus 6 equals 0. So again, you're looking for two terms where we're going to say these two terms are represented by the variables r and s. So when r and s multiply to each other, they give you the c term, which in this case is 6. And then when they're added to one another, they give you the b term, which in this case is 5. So think, what are two numbers that will multiply to give you 6 and when added to each other give you 5? Well, that's 2 and 3, right? Because 2 times 3 is equal to 6, but 2 plus 3 is 5. So good. We said the variables that we needed are r and s, and we told us the properties we needed to find these variables. And now we know r is equal to, let's say, 2, and s is equal to 3. It doesn't matter which one you assign to 2 and which one you assign to 3. So now we can factor this x squared plus 5x plus 6 into its factored form and turn it into x plus 2 times x plus 3. And this whole thing is again equal to 0 because it's just the factored form of x squared plus 5x plus 6. Well, now this should look kind of familiar. So if x plus 2 times x plus 3 gives you 0, well, in any instance, on here, if this equals 0, then this whole thing will give you 0 and help you solve what x is. And if this equals 0, then this whole thing will equal to 0 and tell you what x is. So you want to make each side of this table equal to 0, because that is a way to find what x is. So in this instance, x is equal to negative 2, because if x is equal to negative 2, again, this left side of this table we drew would be negative 2 plus 2, which would give you 0, and this would make this whole thing 0, which would help you solve it. And then for here, if x is equal to negative 3, this side would be 0. So now we just solved it. X is equal to either negative 2 or negative 3. And we put them into brackets to show that these are our solutions. Okay, perfect. So that is trinomial factoring.